Hello, movie friends. Welcome back to the show. This is Anthony.
And this is James. Let's go over some movie news this week. There's actually a lot to talk about, but let's start off with the box office. So obviously, Spider-Man No Way Home is still dominated. It made $56 million last weekend, still killing it, still number one at the box office. It made $8 million on Friday, just on a daily, so it's still just the top movie in the world. Sing 2, $20 million. The King's Man, $4.6 million. American Underdog is $3.9 million. The Matrix Resurrections, $3.8 million. There were a couple new releases as well. The Tender Bar opened up mostly on Amazon Prime, but also in some select theaters, so I couldn't find any box office numbers on that. And then the 355 opened up with a $1.7 million Friday at 3,100 theaters, projected for an opening of about $4 million on a budget of $75 million. It's pretty underwhelming, but, maybe that'll make a little extra money. But we'll see, maybe $20 million max total.
Whatever, it's going to be a loss of $100 million.
Big time, because that's a really, well, yeah, probably with marketing and everything.
Yeah, and they're splitting the box office with theaters.
Yeah, so that came out. Yeah. The Tender Bar also, not a ton of great reviews on that either. I think those both just, like you always say. Yeah. Movies go to die in January when they come out. So the Tender Bar, I think that's like 30% Rotten Tomatoes, not a ton of great ratings. 355 is somewhere similar.
99% of the time, you shouldn't trust a movie that comes out in January.
And George Clooney's been just making a couple duds recently.
He's made a bunch of duds.
I love The Eyes of March, but man, he hasn't made like a really good movie since probably.
Yeah, his movie Confessions of a Dangerous Mind with Sam Rockwell is really good too. But he's been on a streak of,
very mediocre films. Yeah, like the Tender Bar, it looks okay. And I love Ben, but
the one with Matt Damon was pretty good with Julianne Moore, but it was just okay.
Is that the one with the Monuments Men?
No, it was Julianne Moore and Suburbicon.
Okay, but Suburbicon I thought that was underwhelming. Yeah, and then the Monuments Men was underwhelming as well. So I think you got to get a better script or something. I don't know.
Yeah, who knows?
First bit of news, obviously the passing of Sidney Poitier. He won Best Lead Actor in 1963 for Lilies of the Field and also an honorary Oscar in 2002. He's just an icon in cinema history, and he's one of the greatest to ever do it, and it's so unfortunate, but he lived a very long, fulfilled life. He lived to 94, I believe, when he passed.
94.
And, Betty White just passed away at 99. So those are very long lives, and we can all hope to be as lucky and live as fulfilled a life as especially Sidney Poitier.
Absolutely. We also want to wish a very happy birthday to our fan, Phil Portella. Happy birthday, pal. Thanks for tuning into our show. And then there was the Harry Potter reunion, which we saw on HBO Max, the Return to Hogwarts, which was a really fun documentary to watch. All these cast members getting together, moving throughout the sets, and even interviews in the sets. Like the main trio, they had like a little podcast-esque discussion, chat.
It looked like it was in Gryffindor
common room. And it was just really terrific to see everyone.
Yeah, it was very emotional too. It's very nostalgic, but then to see all the actors who have passed, who throughout the years, you're like, oh my God, this person passed away. This person passed away. Richard Harris, Alan Rickman. Then you remember Helen McCrory. So many people who were tremendous actors and huge integral parts of the story are gone too soon. So it's really emotional. I had a blast watching it, but it seemed like if you didn't go to the reunion, they cut whatever actor you were talking about you in terms of I didn't hear about Michael Gambon, David Thewlis didn't get
Lupin
brought up.
Didn't get mentioned.
A lot of actors. I think they didn't bring up what's his name, who plays Professor Flitwick, Warwick Davis,
who had multiple roles.
Yeah,
in
he was
series.
a huge part of the film. So I think if you didn't go to the reunion, they were like, we're gonna cut anyone mentioning you, which seemed a little odd to me.
And also Emma Watson absolutely destroyed Rupert Grint.
A little bit. I think it just came out different than
what she was meant. Yeah.
I think they all thought the same thing. They're all like, yeah, we've talked about this before, how the kisses were terrible, but it was pretty funny to watch. But it was a really great experience. I liked watching it a lot. But also speaking of Ben Affleck, he recently reflected on Joss Whedon's Justice League, calling it awful. He said it was the worst experience. It was awful. It was everything that I didn't like about this. That's just his quote. He also said it contributed to his divorce from Jennifer Garner back in 2017.
Wow, I doubt anyone will ever. I don't think Joss Whedon will ever make another movie again. It doesn't seem likely.
Probably not.
Because Gal Gadot said that he was horrible to her. Same thing with the other actors from that set, and sounds like he's just like a stubborn tyrant on sets of movies.
Yeah, he seems like a kind of a jerk to work with.
Yeah, absolutely.
All the news and then we hear about the Buffy the Vampire Slayer stuff.
Yeah.
And, it just doesn't seem like a great guy.
Nope, not at all. And Ben Affleck has been in a lot of movies, so I think he would know For him to say that was his like probably the worst experience out of like what does he have like 50 credits maybe more
Easy.
That's really saying something.
Plus directing and screenwriting and producing so many projects.
Mm-hmm. And now for Black Adam, we have an update on Dwayne Johnson's new film, and they released a behind-the-scenes image revealing that they are filming really intricate behind-the-scenes effect. It requires 10 hours of him sitting in the egg, which is a shooting area, and they're making it an extremely complicated sequence where he can only move his eyes, head, and shoulders while focusing on marks no bigger than a quarter, all while performing at the same time. So I like this aspect. They're not doing. It doesn't seem like they're going to be doing a lot of CGI of Black Adam. It looks like it'll be actual footage of Dwayne interacting as the superhero, even in the complex CGI scenes.
Well, this is the situation that they did with Benjamin Button, and we talked about actually in the last episode. What was the recent episode we did that was CGI heavy?
Something
where they're doing the face capturing
Avatar.
So this was that technique where you're sitting in this giant box full of light and cameras, and they're capturing every single intricacy that your face could possibly make, performing, doing lines and everything like that, so that they can go back and fix it if they have to, add new lines if they have to, without having to go to set and set everything back up. And it's just super advanced CGI technology, and I'm sure they'll be able to use a lot of these CGI pickups that they're creating for a CGI shot of him flying through the air and just put his real face on the character.
It'll really look like him.
So it's really advanced stuff. It's pretty incredible.
Yeah, rather than just a completely CGI animated version of him.
So like his body flying through the air will be animated, but his face will actually be Dwayne's face, which is it's incredible stuff.
No, he'll really be flying.
Yeah, he seems like he can fly.
There's nothing he can't do. And then Amazon's TV series I Know What You Did Last Summer has already been canceled after one season, and they will not be returning next summer. I could have told you this just from the trailer they released. It looked like absolute hot garbage.
Yeah, it did. I'm sure it was hot garbage, and they probably didn't get a lot of streams.
Yeah,
and,
again, you don't need to keep making these propositions into TV series.
Come up with a new idea.
Yeah.
Rooney Mara was actually just cast as Audrey Hepburn in a biopic from director. Boston came out.
Wicked cool director.
Luca Guadagnino, the Italian director behind Call Me By Your Name, and this is going to be coming. I think they start filming at the end of this year, so I can't wait to see it because Luca's a great director. I can't wait to see his new film with Timothy about cannibals,
bones and all.
Yeah, bones and all.
Yeah,
that looks like it's gonna be pretty wild. But this is really cool news. Rooney's phenomenal. We just saw her in Nightmare Alley.
I wonder what the story will be because I can't recall of anything like crazy going on in her life outside of making movies, but I'm sure it will be interesting because he's such a fantastic director.
I'm sure there's some stuff you never heard of.
Yeah, probably. I wonder if they'll have the little deer she had. She had a pet deer.
True.
Yeah.
Well, it's like how Sacha Baron Cohen wanted to make the Freddie Mercury film centered around Freddie Mercury, but Queen, the band, wouldn't let him do it. That's why that project never worked out with him being Freddie Mercury, because he wanted to tell like the true story of Queen and like their parties and the wild lifestyle of Freddie Mercury.
Yeah,
but they're like, no, we want to protect our music.
And Bohemian Rhapsody ended up being very tame.
Yeah,
compared
to like the
lived.
stories of Freddie Mercury, you should look up some stuff. It's pretty wild.
All he did was hold hands with another guy in that movie.
It's crazy.
It's a great movie, but like there was not an accurate portrayal of Freddie Mercury.
Google the parties that Queen had and Freddie Mercury had in his house. It'd blow your mind.
Yeah.
Morbius got pushed back by 3 months. So this was supposed to come out in January, then recently got pushed back all the way to it's April, right? Or May.
May.
Or 3. No, so 3.
April.
So April.
Yeah.
1, 2, 3.
Yeah. It's been a long year.
Which, oh my God, Morbius got delayed by 3 months. Ah!
Dude, I don't really care that much.
It looks all right, I guess. But is this really bad news?
I didn't even know Morbius was a thing until a month ago.
I didn't even know. Same, bro. So I don't think anyone really cares, honestly. If there was if it's not as big as Doctor Strange getting pushed back, which they pushed that back because of the Batman.
Yeah.
But oh no, Morbius. No offense if you like Morbius.
Yeah, I wasn't lining up to see it anyways.
These are just jokes.
Yeah, we're just teasing. There's so many superheroes. It doesn't really matter. I'm guessing Sony thinks they can make more money from it.
Maybe.
Yeah, or maybe they're filming some kind of new post-credit scene that's gonna tie to Andrew Garfield or something.
Maybe they're worried about COVID ramping up in terms of Omicron. But I mean,
Spider-Man just made $1 billion,
$1.4 billion, and still making $8 million a day.
Yeah,
so I don't know.
That's not the problem.
I don't know if it's. I think maybe they just want a better release window.
Maybe from the success of Spider-Man, it made them change something. That's my guess. Maybe they're doing a reshoot.
Maybe.
Yellowstone, Paramount Plus's hit show, just set records for viewership. Its season 4 finale garnered over 10 million viewers, which is the most for a cable television show since The Walking Dead Season 8 premiere in 2017. This is a massive number because this is people who are like actually watching the show. It's not like a Netflix premiere with 70 million views of a movie where people watched 1 minute of it because that counts as a view. This is like people actually watching this show, and it's rare for a TV series to get this many viewers. It's pretty wild.
Yeah, for cable,
Yeah.
which is absurd. So I kind of want to get into this because people have recommended it a lot, and they just released their prequel series was 1883. So kind of want to check it out. I haven't watched it yet, but I mean,
love
10 million
Westerns.
people watching it sounds.
I love Westerns and I love Kevin Costner.
There's a
So
lot of
yeah,
people tuning
let's
in.
go.
Once upon a time in Hollywood, Quentin Tarantino has written a book based on Rick Dalton, which features himself. This is a little interview from him. Because in this pretext, Rick retires and moves to Hawaii, and so I go in 1998 to the Hawaii International Film Festival. I'm there, Tarantino talking about himself. Roger Ebert's there. I'm seeing films, and then one of the festival people goes, hey, is there anybody in Hawaii that you'd like to meet? You go, well, who's worth meeting here in Hawaii? Well, Don Ho's here, and this one here, and that one's there. Rick Dalton's here. Whoa, Rick Dalton? I wondered what the fuck happened to that guy. Well, he retired in 1988, and him and his wife, Francesca, they moved to Hawaii. So it sounds like, I hope he released it. I would definitely read a Quentin Tarantino book for sure.
Yeah, that sounds fascinating to put himself in it too.
And he keeps saying that once he retires from filmmaking, he's going to be a novelist, which would be awesome.
Oh, yeah.
And a playwright.
What's the name of that journalist from Fear and Loathing in Las Vegas? What's that journalist's name? But it's like his writing where he inserts himself into all of his articles, all of his stories, based upon his experiences. It's like very meta. I like that.
Hunter S. Thompson.
Hunter S.
That's
Thompson,
his name.
yes. All right, that's pretty cool. I'm definitely gonna buy that and read the hell out of it.
If it gets released.
Netflix is creating a anime series of Scott Pilgrim vs. the World from Devilman Cryberry Studio. Edgar Wright will serve as an executive producer. I think that Scott Pilgrim is still a beloved property, so it's definitely a good idea to make this an anime series. And Netflix is obviously milking every anime project they can for all they can.
And I hope that it's not like obviously not going to be live action. It sounds like if they do an anime series, but I hope they stay to like true to the comic book graphic novel version of the characters and everything, because that's one of my favorite graphic novels that I have, and it's awesome.
Yeah, so I'm sure they, after the poor reception of their last few projects, I'm sure they're gonna be like, let's go anime with this.
Nightmare Alley sets dates for black and white screenings in Los Angeles with Guillermo del Toro Q&As, which will also be projected on film. And so this is going to be throughout the course of the next couple weeks in January. So if you're in the area, I definitely recommend checking this out.
We're going to have to look into that.
Yeah, I definitely want to see it, and especially go see Guillermo del Toro do a Q&A, which would be really cool.
Absolutely. We actually just posted a review of Nightmare Alley yesterday, so if you want to see what we thought of that amazing film, go ahead and listen on all audio platforms. Wes Anderson's new film, The Wonderful Story of Henry Sugar, is adding more incredible actors, including Ralph Fiennes, Dev Patel, and Ben Kingsley. They already joined a cast I think will be headed up by Benedict Cumberbatch. Bill Murray will obviously be there. And then The Wonderful Story of Henry Sugar will be a collection of short stories by Roald Dahl. That sees Sugar, a man who gains the ability to see through objects and even into the future as he goes on many misadventures, thanks to his ability ranging from being on the run from the mafia to starting an orphanage. So it sounds like a wonderful project for Wes Anderson.
Sounds like French Dispatch, but maybe a little lighter in tone and more fun. Mm-hmm. So I obviously will go see it in theaters.
And so this is the first time that you would have a character with like abilities that were like magical
or supernatural in a Wes Anderson film.
Exactly.
That's pretty. Yeah, good point. Enola Holmes 2 just wrapped filming. And the novel, which is set to be released on August 23rd, will give fans a new mystery to unravel alongside their favorite female detective as Enola investigates the kidnapping of her brother Mycroft at the hands of a group of anarchists. She will team up with Tewksbury, a new character named Shag, to solve the crime and bring her older brother to home safely. And Kathleen is coming back as Mycroft. Henry Cavill is also coming back as Sherlock. And then obviously Helena Bonham Carter will be back as Enola's mother as well.
And some more Spider-Man news. Apparently, Andrew Garfield and Tobey Maguire snuck into a screening of Spider-Man No Way Home and watched it with fans. No one knew who they were because they were wearing masks and baseball caps. So they were disguised, and they got to experience it with a packed theater. They didn't say which cinema they went to, but it's probably
Century City.
Oh, Century City?
Yeah.
In L.A.? Oh, wow.
They went with John Watts, too, the director.
Oh, so cool.
So and then they surprised the fans afterwards, which was really cool.
They came out?
Yeah. But
That's amazing.
yeah, they just went in like plain clothes with masks and hats. Like, hey, it's two Spider-Man right there.
That's the thing with the masks is like anyone can go incognito.
I would say not anyone. Like still Leo, like you would recognize him anywhere because you've seen them.
For
So
someone
many movies.
super famous, you can recognize their eyes and nose.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Like I could. We spotted Timothy Olyphant and he was wearing a mask.
Yeah, that's true.
You know what I mean?
But yeah, but he had his hair. But if someone's wearing a baseball cap, it's harder for sure.
I think Leo you could still spot because
Yeah.
like he's just the most famous person on the planet,
Yeah.
probably one of them. Beavis and Butthead movie is coming this year. Creator Mike Judge reveals updated designs. So this is going to be on Paramount Plus. There's no exact date yet. But the first Beavis and Butthead Do America film, which was released in 1996, which was so funny, that made over $60 million worldwide.
Wow.
So I want to check this out because we have older brothers and they love Beavis and Butthead, and we loved it when we were kids watching it with them as well, and we thought that movie was super funny. And I'm curious to see what the new redesign is going to look like with them. But we'll see. I'm definitely going to check this out.
that movie, that's a lot of money. That's crazy. It made $60 million.
Cornholio. Beavis. Beavis.
All right, here's some crazy Christopher Nolan news. Josh Hartnett has been cast in a secret role in Oppenheimer, probably as the actual atom bomb.
What?
No, I'm kidding. But he's been having a career resurgence because he starred in the last two Guy Ritchie films, and I've always liked Josh Hartnett. He never really broke out as a lead actor. They tried.
Well,
Hollywood,
he took a break from Hollywood.
yeah, but Hollywood tried to make him a big lead, but it never worked. All of his leading films were pretty much box office failures.
Well, I mean, he's the lead in Black Hawk Down.
That's a giant ensemble.
True, but
That doesn't really
He's
count.
still the lead, though.
Yeah, but
I mean,
there's so many great actors in that.
yeah,
I'm
I think he's awesome too. I think well, Lucky Number 11 was cool.
Yeah.
I like that movie.
Box
a lot.
office bomb, though.
Yeah, you would probably say that.
Yeah.
Ant-Man 3, Bill Murray says he's playing a villain in the new Marvel movie. What? That's crazy. So he's gonna tap his superpower. So this is gonna be Ant-Man in the Wasp Quantum Mania. And he just says, I'm a bad guy. But I bet it's like a comedic bad guy. Because could you see Bill Murray doing a serious villain in a Marvel movie? I don't know.
No, I don't see it.
It's probably
He's
gotta
too
be
likable.
He's Bill Murray.
Yeah.
You know, I think it worked really well when someone like Robert Redford was the villain in a Captain Marvel Marvel movie.
Yeah.
That worked really well. But I think Bill Murray, like, I could never see him as like a bad guy.
No, that's why he never has been. Except, I mean, the only bad guy he's played is Scrooge, and then he ends up being, transformed by the end of the film. And Ben Affleck has officially confirmed that he will be starring in The Flash, and this is his final Batman movie. He's just like breaking it out. It's like no more surprises, no more secrets. Like he's in it for sure. My guess, like we talked about in our discussion episode about The Flash, is that he's going to be in the first act of the film and help Barry transport and travel to a different dimension.
Yeah, it's too bad. I wish we never got the solo Batman movie.
That keeps you up at night.
That does keep me up at night. Come on, man. That's like
You wake up like, Batman, Ben!
Can you hear me in my room?
Yeah. The whole neighborhood hears you. Ben
Fleck. Bad Fleck. Wonder Woman 1984 is the best-selling movie of 2021 on home video, despite the mixed reactions and critics and audiences. Sorry for all my fumbling and bumbling today, guys. Wonder Woman 1984 was the best-selling film on DVD and Blu-ray for 2021 at over $30 million on that. So that's pretty great.
Pretty good for nowadays.
Yeah, I'm sure that definitely helped because they did lose some because it was same-day release as theaters. That was the first movie, I think, to do that.
It never released in theaters.
Are you sure?
It was a lockdown release on HBO Max.
Oh,
yeah,
you're right.
It never went to theaters.
You're right. We watched it on Christmas Day. That's right.
So it was a loss, a big loss for Warner Brothers.
But they marketed the hell of it. It made $30 million from it, which is cool. All right, that wraps movie news number 31. Stay tuned for some great episodes we got coming this week, as well as some mini bonus reviews. I'm doing a little mini review of the best horror films of 2021, which is dropping on Wednesday. Right? Yeah,
Correct.
something like that. So definitely tune into that. It's just going to be me by myself. It's just gonna be
How
a lot of
was
fun.
it?
It was a good time.
I can't wait to hear it.
Yeah. No voice cracks or nothing.
You cut them out.
All right, everyone. Have a great week.
Goodbye.
Thanks so much for tuning in to Raiders of the Lost podcast. Be sure to subscribe if you're new. Hit the like button. Leave a comment. Find us on all audio streaming platforms, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, wherever you listen to podcasts, you can find us. Find us on Twitter, TikTok, Instagram, Raiders of the Lost podcast. Be sure to check out one of these other videos right here for more content on our favorite films and breaking down all kinds of movie content. Thanks so much.